Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I hope you're well and you're good. Back at Shrey FC. I'm so happy to be back. Today I'm back on another episode of Chelsea Talks. This will be a very regular show as the transfer window goes on and Chelsea are on a madness. So do hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel and do hit the bell notification button because after this week we'll have a lot of work. There's going to be some great content coming up. So do hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and do hit the bell notification button if you still haven't, because all the updates will only come if you're notified about it. And please people, do like and subscribe, and also do put your comments in the live chat of what do you think about this transfer and is this right for Chelsea or not. We have a lot of news to cover up today. Ugarte, Mount, Havertz, Chelsea signing a very young talented kid. So there are a lot of things to do today. So let's start with the first news today, and that is a massive news coming up. So the first news today, we have to talk about Chelsea talks. You can see in the picture, we're going to talk about Lavia, Maatsen, Havertz, Caicedo, Ugarte, Mount, and we're talking about Pulisic, Pochettino, and a lot more stuff as well. So the first news is coming out today is about Ian Maatsen. Chelsea have rejected a 15 million approach from Burnley for Ian Maatsen. This is by Adrian Kajumba. He's somewhat reliable, and this is for me a bit of reliable news because this has been going for a long time. We all know Chelsea have abundance of left back, man, and I think signing Cucurella right now. See, I will give Cucurella the needed time and patience because I'm not the one that goes on the players and say they're not good enough and these all things. I will always give a new signing a time and patience, but we have to be brutally honest that Cucurella so far has been very underwhelming, and Cucurella most probably has taken the spot of Maatsen. This is where sometimes Chelsea get it wrong. We want to send a new flavor in the town rather than backing our own. When we need to sign world-class players, you sign, irrespective of if it harms the youth player place in the team and whatever. If there's a world-class player, you sign him. But there are certain players we could avoid signing. And right now, Luis Hall can play in the midfield. But so far at Chelsea career, he has mostly played as a left back. We have Ben Chilwell, who's injury prone. We have Cucurella. So it looks very difficult for Maatsen to get into the team. So it's fully understandable that Chelsea might try to loan him and extend his contract. And it might also be very understandable that the guy himself want to go to a bit more permanent place. A lot of Chelsea youth players have not been happy with Chelsea again and again getting loaned. Colville is one of them, and these players want a permanent home. I will love to keep Ian Maatsen. I really want to keep Ian Maatsen. This guy is a very, very talented left back, but we're already having Chilwell, we're already having Cucurella, we're already having Luis Hall. It just doesn't make sense to have four left backs in the book. So I really don't know what we have to do. I think selling him could be a blunder because he's such a good player, and Cucurella attackingly is very, very bad to watch. I cannot deny that. I cannot deny the facts that attackingly Cucurella has been very bad for Chelsea, and Cucurella looks a more decent player to play at the left centre back in a back three in comparison to play a left back in the back four where you have to go up, down, up, down, up, down on the pitch. And that is a thing where Cucurella for me is just not good enough. Cucurella for me is a player, and Drain in the chat, bigger brother. One suggestion, could you please keep timing a bit late? It will be easy. I fully agree. Why today was an emergency for me because I will be going on a work trip now and will be out for 1 week. So this was the only time today available to me. Otherwise, Drain bro, you know I only keep it at 7:30 to 8:30. But today, sadly for me, I had to go somewhere and I had to urgently keep it because in the next some days it won't be possible for me to bring content. So I thought let's have a chat today. So no problem, Drain bhai. If you're even not available, you can watch it on back. And thank you again, Drain bhai, for the support. It means a lot. And Chelsea have rejected a 15 million bid, as I've told you in the news. And Chelsea want around 20 million or more to sell Maatsen. Now, in the other news regarding Maatsen, Burnley don't want to pay us around that. Burnley want to more and add-on deals, and this is why there could be an agreement in middle. This is why the Athletic now and Athletic are saying that Chelsea might reach an agreement with Maatsen in between the price that Burnley want to pay and that Chelsea want. See, there's an interview today that came out of Maatsen, and he will love to stay at Chelsea. There's no doubt about that. But the problem is we have so many spots that a player wants to play more regularly, and they might choose to go elsewhere. I think on my final thing on Ian Maatsen, I think this is a very, very talented kid. And it's I'm not just saying this is because right now I even saw him in some of the Chelsea youth days and everything. This guy has a lot of talent, and especially for a left back, he's better attacking than Cucurella. He's explosive, and Pochettino, who can develop youngsters, I think Pochettino will love a kid like this. But on the other hand, you've just extended the contract of Chilwell. You have right now Luis Hall, who is a midfielder, but he's playing really well at left back. And then you've got Cucurella, you've signed for 60 million. Until someone comes and pays you 40-50 for Cucurella, you aren't going to sell him. And this is why time for Jan Maatsen at Chelsea in terms of playing time could be very less. So don't be surprised Jan Maatsen goes to another loan or leaves permanently. But I would love to keep this player or at least extend this contract and send him on loan. So if this year also Cucurella fails, then next year somehow even we get 20 million, we sell him and get this guy in. Or if let's say Ben Chilwell again after injury, he's again and again re-injured. So we have another option from our own academy rather than going outside and buying a player. Absolutely, bro. No problem, Darren, bro. And now coming on, Shrey bhai, I will loan Maatsen back to Burnley, see how it does, because playing against part-time worker and playing against Salah KDB, I absolutely agreed. But for me, Dylan, bro, I will love for his contract to be extended so that if he goes on the loan, we are not in any trouble. And next year, if Cucurella has been absolutely shite, Chilwell is again been injured out, then we know we have a guy from our own academy to replace them rather than going in the market and spending another 60-70 on draws. That is what I think Chelsea should be doing. And I think this guy has a lot of talent. And I think either we need to let him go on a Burnley on a Premier League loan and put a pathway for him into the team, or else we have to either sell him permanently. But we cannot keep doing these, extending the contract of players, keeping players for a long time. We still have, I think, Baba Rahman on contract terms. And that is the thing I think we in the club need to improve. Jan Maatsen is a good youngster. And I think either the youngsters at Chelsea need to be shown a pathway to the team or they need to be sold. You cannot go in between. A lot of youngsters like Colville, previously Masunda, they've not been happy. And this is why they've gone elsewhere. If we would have shown them the pathway, they most probably right now are playing for Chelsea. And we have a talented attacker like not Masunda. I'm so sorry, Musiala. I'm so sorry. We have attackers like Musiala playing for our club right now. We have players like Colville playing for us right now rather than working for Brighton. So this is the thing I think we need to do better. And as a club, I think we can do much better in this department, for my opinion. So this was all about Jan Maatsen. And coming on to the next news now. This is regarding Mike Maignan. Everybody knows that Mike Maignan is a goalkeeper. Everybody wants to sign. He is one of, if not the top goalkeepers right now in the world. He's so talented. He's so good with his feet. And he's a very, very good shot stopper. He really impressed in the Champions League semi-final matches with Inter Milan. And he's a very talented guy. We know that we have seen Manchester United go after him and David Raya. Chelsea have been after David Raya and Mike Maignan. And the only reason teams are really avoiding to go for Maignan is the cost. Chelsea right now, as per the news regarding Sports Witness, put a 60 million offer in for Mike Maignan. And as per the reports, that was rejected. And now we all know that Maldini has been sacked as well. And now Mike Maignan doesn't want to extend the contract. So that is another very, very big issue for AC Milan. And I think if we can get Mike Maignan for 65-70 million, I think it's a fantastic deal. If Edward Mendy sadly leaves the club and even Kepa stays, but in the future we can let him go, I think Mike Maignan is one of the best goalkeepers right now in the world. For me, one of the best is still Alisson's, Alisson's, your Edison's, in terms of your, even Manuel Neuer, right now he's finished, but he's still a top goalkeeper. That is a top category of goalkeepers you see. I think Mike Maignan right now is in the top 3, top 4 goalkeeper in the world. And I think signing him for this amount will be fantastic. But as I've told you, AC Milan rejected it and they will only accept around 80-90 million, which for me is too much. But I think this is one transfer to watch and you never know. Todd Boehly surprises with Enzo. They might surprise us with Caicedo and Maignan this summer. And Shrever, don't you think RLC plus 60 million is way too expensive for Maignan? I fully agree with that one, but to be honest, Darren Bhai, I only value Loftus-Cheek for around 10-11 million with a player wanting to leave, contract only 1 year left. So this is why I don't value Loftus-Cheek too much. But again, I'll repeat, Maldini has been sacked as sporting director of AC Milan and many players are unhappy. And now the reports are coming that the Loftus-Cheek transfer for some time has been suspended and there's no guarantee AC Milan will sign him. It was Maldini who was pushing to sign Loftus-Cheek. So because Maldini has been sacked, there is no guarantee that they will sign Loftus-Cheek now. So Loftus-Cheek might end up staying at Chelsea or even might go to another club. But AC Milan is very doubtful now with Maldini sacking. They'll review the transfers again and then they'll decide whether to pursue Loftus-Cheek or they'll let Loftus-Cheek go. And now, coming on to the next news, this is again regarding that Chelsea verbally offered 60 million for Maignan in discussion for Loftus-Cheek, but AC Milan said no, as I already told in the video. And this is the biggest one. Mike Maignan has not reacted well to Maldini's AC Milan departure and is now reluctant to sign a new contract. As I've said earlier, Maldini going has been a massive blow to many AC Milan players and many fans and overall the players. And I can tell you, a lot of players might even demand to leave, and a lot of players they were trying to sign might not be signed now because next sporting director might not really give them the green light. And that is the story now at AC Milan. With Maldini gone, it's a big chance Loftus-Cheek transfer gets suspended, and also a massive chance that players like Mike Maignan want to leave the club. So this is a massive development at AC Milan right now. And because of Maldini's departure, Chelsea can try for Mike Maignan. And if Rafael Leao did not extend that contract, he will 100% have left the club with Maldini's departure. And another news regarding this, Loftus-Cheek move and the whole AC Milan window is currently suspended following the firing of Maldini and Massara. Maldini had a meeting scheduled today with Loftus-Cheek agent, but it had to cancel due to the firing. And as I've said, this is by a very reliable Italian source and Chelsea source in Nathan Gissing and Di Marzio. You have to understand the Loftus-Cheek transfer depended on Maldini, and it could be a massive, massive blow for Chelsea to sell Loftus-Cheek, but AC Milan now might not go for him. I'll still keep Loftus-Cheek at Chelsea, so I'm not too disappointed. But if Chelsea were trying to sell him to balance the books, this could be a massive blow to them. And if they're trying to sign Maignan, then it's a massive boost because a lot of players love Maldini. And now with the departure, there's a bit of unhappiness at AC Milan, and many players might just now demand to leave the club. Shreva, if given opportunity, will you get Tonali from Milan? For me, I might not drain by. I really respect Tonali. He's a very good player, but I want a player in the mold of Rodri who is more physical, who is more aggressive, and can do very good with the ball. I think Tonali has a massive chance to get bullied in the league, and that is my only worry with Tonali, in my opinion, Durin bro. So I think I might not go for Tonali. I will rather go for a player like Rodri in terms of his mold. But again, if Tonali comes to Chelsea, I'm not complaining, and he's still a very, very good midfielder. Now coming on to the next news, and that is regarding, is it PR or is it the truth? On Saturday, Chelsea had reached an agreement with Sporting Lisbon and Manuel Ugarte, but PSG put a new salary offer on the table that is around 10 million per year, which has led Chelsea to drop out of the race. We all know in this Ugarte transfer saga that Chelsea only wanted to pay around 2 million salary for his per year, which was very low. So in the end, it was decided Chelsea might go with improved offer of 3.5 million per year, and that might get the deal done. Yesterday or day before, reports were coming out that Chelsea have scheduled a medical and Ugarte is this close to sign to Chelsea. But yesterday, it suddenly came out that Chelsea have pulled out of the race to sign Manuel Ugarte. And now, because Chelsea have went away from the race to sign him, PSG have a whole area to sign him easily. Now, many reports are coming out that PSG had offered 10 million to sign Ugarte, which was very ludicrous wages. But there are rumors also coming out that Chelsea and Sporting had an agreement where Chelsea will buy some shares in Sporting and they will sell the players, which PSG were trying to send a legal notice. Now, nobody knows is it PR or is it the truth, because let's be honest, PSG might be getting this news out that sanction, we were trying to put a legal notice in, Chelsea were trying to buy a share in Sporting, so has to save their face that they're not paying over salary to a player to sign him. On the other hand, it is a massive possibility that Chelsea might have spread the news off around his wages, so to save the face that they were rejected by the player or they were outbid by PSG. And we all know since the Ziyech deal, Chelsea and PSG have a lot of bad blood among them. So nobody knows what has happened, but we know that Ugarte is a player that's now going to PSG, and Chelsea have pulled out of the race to sign him. For me, as much as I saw a bit of Ugarte in terms of comms, I won't lie, I've never watched the players, but I did saw some technical analysis, some videos about him, and I'll let you know one thing, that this player could have been a good player for us. I still don't think an actual DM, but it could have been a good player for us in the future. But I will also say one thing, Ugarte is not the end of the world. You still have so many players in the world to sign. You can go in terms of, you can go towards Caicedo, you can go towards players like Declan Rice, you can still sign players like Lavia. So I think it's not an urgent requirement for us to sign Ugarte, and we must get other targets. But if you fail to sign a DM this window, then the whole failure lies in the Todd Bowley and the new recruitment department. They need to go and they need to find the required DM, because we have not had a DM since Nemanja Matic properly. We have not had a DM, and last season the way we were getting destroyed in the counter attack, it only shows how bad Chelsea are when under transition from the opponents. And over my 6 minutes watching a tactical blunder Ugarte for nothing. I will forgive this blunder if you get both Caicedo and Lavia. More than you believe. Fully agreed with that, Veteran bro. I watched around 10-minute video of Ugarte, bro, and overall watched 20-30 minutes of him easily. So we are not going to get that minutes back. But hopefully with Caicedo, with Lavia, I think those are two very, very good acquisitions. And these can really, really, for me, help us in the future. And now coming on towards the next news now. And this news is regarding, despite Chelsea's interest in acquiring a minority stake in Sporting CP, it had nothing to do with discussion for Manuel Ugarte. This is coming by Record Portugal, who were the first one to say that Chelsea and Ugarte deal is done. And now nobody knows, is this again a PR or are they trying to save face? And never believe Chelsea has made a signing until they're 20 minutes into their debut. Lesson learned. Fully agree with that one, Darren, bro. And I think we need to now fully go for Lavia. This signing has gone away, and we need to fully go for Lavia. Absolute scenes when we end up with none other than Bakayoko after this Caicedo Ugarte saga. I don't think, remember, that's happening. And if that happens, I'm literally going to bang my head into the screen and just go away in the stream, because I hope that doesn't happen. And that will never happen. And hopefully we go for Lavia. He will cost 40 million, a very, very good youngster. And hopefully we go for Lavia, who could be a massive player for us. And now coming on to the next news. This is regarding Caicedo, and Chelsea target Moses Caicedo. New deal does have a clause that helps him facilitate a move from Brighton and Hove Albion. However, there is no specific number. This is a massive news, people. We all know Arsenal Football Club are massively trying to sign both Declan Rice and Caicedo. We all know Manchester United are waiting for the ownership problem to be sorted, so they go for Caicedo. We all know Liverpool still want Caicedo, but they've got McAllister, and now it looks difficult for Caicedo. And we all know that there could be a battle between Chelsea and Arsenal to sign Caicedo. So there's massive news coming out that there is a clause that might help him facilitate a move from Brighton. But to break to you people, Brighton want 80 to 100 million to sell Caicedo. And that is a massive, massive fee for a midfielder, for a guy who has only had one season in Premier League, which has been good enough. So that is what Brighton want. This is by the very reliable Ben Jacobs. Now coming on my overall opinion on Caicedo. For me, I will say just one thing. For me, Caicedo is a magnificent player. He's a very, very good player. For the Brighton matches I watched this season, the guy can bring the ball out from the back. He can make some important tackles. He can make some important interceptions. He can really make some good passes. He can really cover the whole area of the pitch. He's defensively very, very good. He can make some very important tackles. And Caicedo is like a glue to this midfield, along with Enzo and Lavia. Lavia playing more a defensive role. Enzo and Caicedo playing as like two number 8s. And I think with the freedom, with the box-to-box duties they both can do, I think Chelsea could have a massively good future in the midfield with Lavia, Enzo and Caicedo. So Caicedo, with the way I watched him, he's a dream for me to play for Chelsea. But Brighton want 80 to 100 million. And I think that is very, very unfeasible and a very high fee. If we can reduce that, then fair enough. But Brighton want to lowball us, and they want to include Colwill in the deal, which I think will be criminal for Chelsea to do that. Colwill is the future of this club. Colwill is one of the most talented youngsters, has centre backs in the Premier League right now. And trying to sell Colwill to get Caicedo again shows Chelsea don't value the future players. They've got their own academy players. And selling Colwill for Caicedo can be a mistake. Keep Colwill, sign Caicedo, and that is the way for me, Chelsea, to go for it. And now, coming on to CFC Paris, another news from him. Real Madrid are going fully in for Kai Havertz. This is by Mate Moreto by Madrid Extra. They say that Real Madrid are going heavily in for Kai Havertz. We have all known that Real Madrid have a massive interest in Kai Havertz. They really want to sign Kai Havertz, and they have a massive, massive interest in signing Kai Havertz. We all know that, and this is why they're going fully in for Kai Havertz. Karim Benzema has already left the club. Asensio has left the club. You've got Eden Hazard, who never was played even there, has left the club. There are so many players that are leaving Real Madrid right now, and this is why Real Madrid are going fully in for a player like Kai Havertz, and they're trying their best to get Kai Havertz. Now, again, I will say one thing about Kai Havertz, which I've been saying for a very long time, that Kai Havertz is a very, very talented player we have got on our hands. He's a very intelligent player. On the big days, he can really step up, but those days and those performances are very rare. The problem with Kai Havertz at Chelsea has been that we have played him as a right wing, we have played him as a left wing, we have played him as a number 10, we have played him as a false 9, We have played him as a number 8, but the guy has still failed at Chelsea, and that is a massive problem we've got with Kai Havertz. He's a very, very good player, a good talent. He's a good young prospect, but Chelsea have given him 3 years now to develop, and still we don't know what his position is. Is he a number 10? Is he a number 9? Is he a number 8? Is he a right winger? Is he a left winger? Nobody knows what position Kai Havertz is. And I've always said on this channel, I will love to give Kai final chance at Pochettino. But if we get the right offer, we get the right money, then there should be no qualms in selling him if you get that. And now it does look like Real Madrid are ready to pay the good offer for them. And now, taking a bit of chats here, and I hope we are not turning into mid-table team. I don't understand the type of project we are presenting to these players that will make them lower their salary. Are they going to be part of the team? I think for us, Brighton, I think we have to understand that Brighton, we are going through a massive transition. Kovacic, Kante, you've got Mount, Havertz. The whole structure of a Champions League winning team is being taken away. And I think we need to do that. I think we need to bring new players at Chelsea who will be interested to play for the club, who really want to come here, and players who are young in a new chapter of Chelsea Football Club. And I'm just going to say one thing in a very, very, like you can say, more calmer way, Darren Bro. I think we need to give this team time. This team is a very young team. If we accept them straight away next season, they're going to be in the top 4 challenging. That's not going to happen. We need to understand right now it's a tough phase for Chelsea. But with so many youngsters we have got, the success won't come instantly. And I think I won't say mid-table, but if we finish top 6 next season, I think that's a good season. Because expecting top 5, top 4 right now looks very difficult. And I think if we can get a good players on right wages, I think it's a good thing, Darren Bro. I think Chelsea need to manage their wage structure, Darren Bro. Loftus-Cheek at 150k, Havertz at 200, Kepa at 200. I think Chelsea really, really need to manage their wage structure, Darren Bro. And I think we need to become a more self-sustaining club. And I think we need to send the right players. The problem is, I think every player in the world can lower their wages a bit if the club is successful. And it's up to Chelsea to sell the project to the players, show them that they are in for winning the Champions League, Premier Leagues, and then these players will play with that motivation and won't care for the money. Coming on to the next news now, and the next news is again, this news is regarding another news now, taking a bit of chance here. I will spend 100 minutes on Rice, then at Caicedo. With that I agree. Rice is a more proven player than Caicedo. Rice is straight away a natural DM and can do, for me, a much more natural signing for 80 million or less risk signing than a Moses Caicedo. Letting Kai Havertz go right now without any proper replacements for him even available in the market is a mistake. I do agree with that sentiment, Darren Bro. I do understand that sentiment. I do respect that sentiment, Darren Bro. But Darren Bro, we need to be honest as well. He has not so far at Chelsea proven himself. We are getting a 50-60 million bid. We have to balance the books. And I think he could still be a good problem for us as well. And Thuram, big up Utkarsh Bro. I think for me, Thuram can be a good young player for us. But I think I will prefer Lavia more than him, to be honest. I prefer Lavia more because Lavia is an experienced Premier League player. And I think Joe Shields, a scout, really wants him badly. So if the Chelsea scouts prefer Lavia, there's a Chelsea scout who was with Lavia at Southampton. So I think we should be going all over with him. And I think this transfer fee, 60 million, I think we should be all over this deal. If Real are ready to pay us 60-65 million, I think we need to take that. Kai is a very, very good young player, a good prospect. I really, really respect him and has agreed with Kai, Utkar's brother here. I think Kai so far at Chelsea has not really proven himself. We like it or not, bar the Champions League goal and some big games in there, Kai Havertz has not produced more than 6-7 goals a season for Chelsea. He has been very irregular. 1 good month, 3 bad months. At his number 8, he has failed. Has a number 9, he has failed. Has a winger, he has failed. Nobody knows what his natural position is. And this is the problem with Kai Havertz. If we can let Kai Havertz go, we bring in a player like Caicedo, we bring in a player like Lavia. I think those are the profiles Chelsea need and will become a much more all-rounded team rather than a team with no structure and no identity. And this is why for me, if Poch wants to keep Havertz, if Havertz stays, I'll always love and support him. But I think if you're getting 60 million for him, I think you should be taking the deal right now, being very, very honest with that. Coming on to the next one, is it the good decision to sell Kai for 50 to 60 million? And the news here by Henry Carrie Howe says, Havertz has been thinking of leaving Chelsea due to the constant unrest talks are well underway between Real Madrid and its management. His friends Rudiger and Cruz are already there. Kai will be available for 52 million. See, people, being very, very honest and being very honest here, I think for me, it is a good decision to sell him for 60 million, but I won't sell him for around 30-40 million. I think, see, being very honest, some people are angry that we're not trying to milk it, we're not trying to sell him for 70 million, 80 million, but we need to be honest. Chelsea are right now not in a good position in FFP. We need a clear out from the club. So, yeah, we aren't going to get the full market value. But being very honest, a player we signed for 70 million, who so far has not scored enough goals for us, how are we expecting any team to pay more than 60 million? That is not going to happen. With Kai Havertz, as I've said earlier on this channel so many times, he's a good young guy. He has a lot of potential, and I'm always worried that he can go somewhere else and become a big player. But how many years can I keep waiting? He has been at Chelsea now for around 3 years. How many times can we keep on going? Potential, potential, potential. When is this potential going to be harnessed? When? When will this potential be harnessed? He has played as a number 8. He has played as a number 9. He has played as a right winger. He has played as a left winger. Many people have been watching Germany and saying, play him as a number 10, playing as a number 10, play him behind a striker. We have been doing that, and he still has failed at Chelsea. This season, he has not put one proper display, one proper month of display. It's been one good match, 10 bad matches, one good match, 10 bad matches. Last season, he was very good in the sanction period for 2 months, but he was absolutely away for the whole campaign. And bar the Champions League goal, he has really failed at Chelsea. Even in the Champions League campaign, he was not good under Frank Lampard. He did well under Tuchel for 2 months, and he won the Champions League. But again, how much inconsistency can Chelsea take? This is not a Kevin De Bruyne situation where a player goes somewhere else and develops. It is for the best of both parties. Kai Havertz is not reaching his potential at Chelsea. We are paying him big wages for him being here, and he's again and again failing us and taking a position in the team. There's nothing bad in letting Kai Havertz go, getting the right money, and using that money in different positions. If you ask me, I have no problem Kai stays. I'll always love Kai Havertz for the Champions League goal. I always believe this guy has hidden talent that can be nurtured by a very, very good manager, and I will always respect Kai Havertz. But my frustration is, how do I know that potential will be nurtured at Chelsea, and how much time will we keep playing him at Chelsea? Now it will realize, and slowly we might not even be able to sell him for 20 million. I think if we are getting 60 million, sell him. If we are really getting 60 million, sell him. Use that money to sign a Caicedo, sign a Lavia. You're letting Mason Mount and Kai Havertz go for 120 million. Go there and sign your Caicedo for 80 million, Lavia for 40 million. And for me, coming to the end, bro, I think we already have Nkunku who can play in that role. Chukwuemeka can play that role for me. I think in the future, a player like Caicedo can play the role for me. And I think, Dylan, bro, if you agree with me, I will love us in the future to play a 4-3-3. I'm not a huge fan of 4-2-3-1. I will love us in the future to be more of a 4-3-3 team. So I don't even care about a number 10. But right now, I think Nkunku can do the job for us. And being very honest, Nkunku can do a much better job for us than Kai Havertz. Taking more chats, Kai must go. Just take the money. Sell Mount. I will keep RSC for depth. Kani can be a good Nkunku backup. Fully agree with that one, brother. And keep Gallagher or not keep him. For me, being very honest, I will let Conor Gallagher go if we get 40-50 million. But with Mason Mount going and adding Pochettino really preferring a high pressing style, I will let Conor Gallagher go for his career's sake and Chelsea as well. But I think don't be surprised that Mauricio Pochettino keeps him, because in Mauricio Pochettino's style, you need a lot of energy, a lot of pressing, and Conor Gallagher brings that in absolute abundance. So I think don't be surprised Conor Gallagher stays at Chelsea. But if it is up to me, for his career's sake as well, I will let him go. He needs to play regularly. And I think he was having a very good time at Crystal Palace. He still has a talent. And I think that will be best nurtured at another club where he will get playing time. But again, if Conor Gallagher stays, I have no problem, because I trust the manager like Pochettino to develop the youngsters. And now going on to the next news. But before that, taking some chats here. And Kani can be a good backup. Manu Kone, Vivian likes him very much. Fully agreed. I think we have two players we really want. Manu Kone is a choice for Vival, but Joe Shields wants us to go for Lavia because he was at Southampton with him and he really, really rates him very highly. 45 million for Gallagher is a good deal. I think that is an unrejectable deal. If we get 45 for Gallagher, 70 for Mount, 70 for Havertz, my goodness, we will have a massive transfer window. Shreva, even I'm frustrated with Kai, but my problem is that Kai Havertz leaves, who will be his replacement? We can't keep all eggs in cuckoo basket. But why don't we use a Chukwuemeka? Brother, we have got such good talent in Chukwuemeka. Why won't we use Chukwuemeka? Chukwuemeka can do the job for us. I think Chukwuemeka can be a massive player in that department. We have signed a new signing in Andrew Santos, who is a young player. It's time for Chelsea to use the young guys we have signed. We keep on disrespecting the academy, the players we have got. It's high time for Chelsea to only sign world-class players, and for the other position, use the already gems we have got in Colville. We have got players like Chukwuemeka, Caicedo, Andre Santos, Candre Paez. We've got so many youngsters. Why we need to go in the market and spend 40-50 million on draws? If we replace Kai Havertz with Maatsen, we are fools. We are absolute fools when we've got our own talent in Chukwuemeka, and we can easily play a 4-3-3 formation with a player like Andre Santos in there. Chelsea now need to be a smart club. Go for world-class players like Liverpool did. Pay big money for players of talents like Van Dijk, Alisson. Pay the big money for Maignan. Pay the big money for Enzo. Pay the big money for Caicedo. Pay the big money for Declan Rice. But don't pay massive money for draws or above average players. That is the way for me Chelsea need to function and use the academy that we've already got, because we have got some massively talented players which we just don't use, and always disrespect the good academy kids we've got here. But straight bro, don't you think Chukwuemeka needs a loan out? For me, no. For me, Pochettino is a very good coach for youngsters, brother. And if we don't have expectation for next season, why not let him develop? Why loan him? Let Kai Havertz go. For me, this is a very good comment. If you don't get a striker, make a late move for Mitrovic, because I think he's an experienced Premier League player. He's a much faster Giroud, and I think Mitrovic can do a very, very good job for us. It's a much better deal than going for another player who is unknown and paying 80-90 million for him. See, people, being very, very honest with you all, I think we need to go on a proper project where we sign players like Caicedo. We pay the big money for them. One of the other talent, we trust our young kids in Santos, Chukwuemekas, Caicedo. Why we have brought these players if we don't want to use them? Why we have brought players like Chukwuemeka if we don't want to use them? Why we have brought Caicedo if we don't want to use them? Why we have brought players like Andre Santos who are killing it in the young age, which if you're not going to use them? We already have had massive disasters in form of Musiala, in form of, you can say, someone, Maatsen, who we could have used last year. I think it's high time for Chelsea to respect the youth players we have got and use them very, very heavily, because that is the only way for me Chelsea go in the future with proper building. We are building a young project, so why not trust our youth players who are more accustomed in that? They're highly developed. We have got such good academy coaches. Why don't we just give them time and patience to develop? And he just needs to calm down on his temper a bit. I do agree with that one. And Mitrovic is a bit tempered, but he's such a good leader in terms of scoring goals and can be a good influence in the dressing room. And also, he's a Chelsea fan. And my shout is either get a world-class striker or scout someone and put him lead the line. I don't want this average striker in my team. I do understand the sentiment, Durain, bro, but I think Mitrovic still guarantees you 15-18 goals. Like, we have signed a young player in David Fofana, but the managers are not giving him chances. The fans are wanting him to go on loan. So I think we cannot just go for scouted signing who are not ready right now. I think for me, Durain, bro, I fully agree. Either get a world-class striker or at least get a part-time striker who is good at his job, not like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and especially not a world-class signing like 100 million Lukaku, who turned out to be the biggest draws we've ever signed in our history. And we have signed some massive draws, to be honest. And now, going on to the next one, Chelsea have told Kai Havertz clearly that either he extend his contract or they will look to sell him. See, people, being very, very honest here, I think we have only one better option. That is either to sell him, or for me right now, don't offer in the contract. What is the benefit to offer in the contract right now unless we are very sure he works in the Pochettino? For me, I still think Havertz has 2 years left on his contract. You don't extend that contract. You see what it does in the Pochettino. And if he does well, you reward him with that contract. Or if Pochettino doesn't want him, or there's a better replacement, you just let him go. I think for me, it just doesn't make sense, because right now he's on 200k. So for extending the contract, you will increase his wages. That will be ridiculous. Kai Havertz is right now on 200k. There's no benefit of extending the contract. So for me, either you still keep him at the club and extend his contract after he plays with under Pochettino, or you just sell him and let him go out of the club. That is the thing for me I'll be doing. But again, it's up to the club and I'll back whatever the club do. And not Mitrovic. I was talking about Thuram opened the okay, fair enough, bro. Absolute fair enough. And I think Caicedo Santos will get game time and will get developed. Holland is a talent. Yeah, he's a good talent. He's a very, very good talent. But again, bro, at Chelsea, the pressure and everything. I just want a player that the manager wants. I think if you want to go with the scouted signing, get a player that suits in the manager system, manager style, and that is the thing Chelsea need to do. We already have signed David Fofana. What is our plan regarding the young kid? What are we trying to do with him? We still have people have forgotten Armando Broja, but he's coming back after an ACL injury. So I think the board need to be very careful in the signings they make, because we gave a contract extension to Broja. Broja for me is still a very, very good player, but he's also coming after serious injury. So board and the new scouts need to be very smart in the signing and need to plan properly for the future of who they think should be leading the Chelsea line and what's the idea regarding Broja and David Fofana. Shrey, I want someone with experience to lead the line. Enough of this youngster leading a line. I'm fed up with it. I do understand the drain, bro. I think we need a balance. I really think we need a balance. But the rain, bro, I've always said on this channel that Todd Boehly is trying to build a young team. So in the future, if the player doesn't work, he can sell him for high price. And when Todd Boehly starts building the stadium, starts not putting any money on the transfers, then he will have a young lineup that can keep Chelsea playing at a good level, and we can be qualifying for the Champions League regularly. Just like what Tottenham did, they had a young lineup with Dele Alli, Eriksen, Son, Kane, and when they were building the stadium, they did not even spend a penny, and these players kept on developing, and Tottenham were doing well, even without spending any penny in the market. This is what Todd Boehly is trying to do, he in a much better way. And being very honest, we are only going to sign more and more youngsters, especially with the new scouting department we have. And I think we need to give these players time. But I fully agree with you, Darren, bro. I think we need to sprinkle a bit of experience in that. I'm not saying sign 3 or 4 experienced players, but at least sign 2 experienced players in their position, like a Declan Rice, like a Mitrovic, and I think that can help the team to have some experience in them. Please, Chelsea, just sell Bakayoko and Ampadu as well. Purely just got 20 is a bit low. 25-30 is a good deal, but 20 I will take. I do agree with that one, but with Ampadu, I will say one thing. I still think Ampadu has a lot of talent, but no manager in Chelsea has given him a chance. We have been sending him on loan after loan. So I think either we give him a time and opportunity in pre-season and then we make a final decision, or we already make a final decision. But I think with Ethan Ampadu, it either has to be stay at the club or sell. There cannot be another loan. Either we need to keep Ethan Ampadu or we need to sell him. That has to be the decision made. And I do think there's a lot of talent in Ethan Ampadu, but sadly, at our club, it just hasn't worked out. And it makes me sad because I do think the guy has a lot of talent and I think he can do a good job overall. He can play at DM, he can play at centre back. He's good at ball playing. I think he can do defensively well. But sadly, another young player at Chelsea who just hasn't lived up to the hype. And I love Ethan Ampadu. When he came at Chelsea, I really enjoyed his leadership. But he's just not worked for him at Chelsea, to be honest. And it really makes me sad. And it just hasn't worked out for him at Chelsea. That brings me to another one. This is by Teddy Flewers from the source Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea don't want to sit down negotiating for Mount. It's 70 million or nothing. And as you can see in the title of the video, Mason Mount 70 million. And Ampadu and Bakayoko behind Enzo Street aren't ready for it. I think putting Ampadu with Bakayoko is too much for me, bro, because Ampadu is way better than Bakayoko. Bakayoko is the biggest disaster of a signing we've had, along with Drinkwater, along with that, and Lukaku. And I would have loved Bissouma before he went to Spurs. Yeah, with that I agree. I think Bissouma was a very good midfielder, which we missed on. I think Spurs with Conte got him, but he's a very, very good midfielder. But Luko, bro, I remember that Bissouma at that time, I'm not even speculating. He was going through some charges or something. So I think Chelsea might not risk it. But I think he's a very good young midfielder, which he might have tried. I think Bissouma in this system under Pochettino, my God, he would have been beauty. But I think Spurs will enjoy it under Postecoglou. And I think it could be a good job for Spurs this season. And I think Spurs with Bissouma, with if Ndombele stays, with Bentancur and Højbjerg, I think they might have a better midfield next season so far than Chelsea, until we sign a Caicedo, we sign a Lavia. and we keep Andrew Santos and don't put the pressure on these youngsters to straight away play well. And on Mason Mount, is Mason Mount worth 70 million pounds? See, people, being very, very honest on this channel, I've been saying for a long time, I would love to keep Mason Mount. Pochettino wants to keep him. He's a good player. His pressing is important and he's got good instinct in the box. And I will always love Mason Mount for what he did with Chelsea. He has done a very, very good job at Chelsea. But I've always said one thing. Mason Mount, for the last 1 or 2 years, did not perform at his best. And Mason Mount is not an Eden Hazard. He is not a Erling Haaland. He's not in that category. He's a player I really want to keep at the club. But if he goes, he's easily replaceable. But now when it comes to the price, I think Chelsea are doing a good job. We are showing everyone that we're not an easy team. It's not like we want to sell our players so you can pay anything you want and sign up players. So I think Chelsea are doing the right thing. We need to show a bit of authority. But being very, very honest, we aren't going to get 70 million for him. When Caicedo is costing 80, when Rice is costing 90, you aren't going to get Mason for 70. I think there might be a compromise for around 60 million to 50 million. I think that's the way it's going to go. And I think we and Manchester United or any other club might reach a compromise. I don't think with the bad blood, the PR that's coming out, now he's going to extend the contract. I think that's done now. Mason is 100% leaving Chelsea. And being very, very honest with everything that's happened, I think there will be a deal around 55-60 million. And I think we'll accept the offer for 55 to 60 million. But overall, I would have preferred us to keep Mount. But again, no player is bigger than the club. And again, Mason Mount is a player you can easily replace. So thank you, Mount. We love you all. And we always love Mason. But I think if he wants to go, best of luck to him. And I think the deal will be done at around 60-65 million. But I will still say, if Mason is a smart person, he shifts to Liverpool. He tries to convince Liverpool. And he will suit Liverpool better. But I won't mind if United pay us 60 million. Because I will take 60 million. That's a massive, massive money for Mount, being very honest. 60 million is the money that can help us sign Caicedo and help us sign many other players as well. And if they pause 90 for Anthony, they can pay 70 for Mount if they want. Just pay up. If not, then walk away. Fully agree with that one. But because, brother, we want to balance our books, we are in a much more weaker negotiation power than you can say Manchester United. And Rain Bro, United won't go up and we won't budge in the end. And I think next season will be interesting to see where we go. But I think Mason will leave in the end. I think there's so much bad blood that I think he will leave. And 50 million for Mason Mount when he spent 90 for Favela with a spinner. Don't joke with that and try again. I think Rainbow, I think it's 60, but because of year contract left, like Mount only has 1 year left on his contract, Rainbow. And also with that, Chelsea want to sign Caicedo. We want to sign so many players. So we need to raise the money. That will weaken us negotiation-wise. And this is why we might agree on 60 million for me. Otherwise, I do agree we need to try to get the milk to as much as possible, being very honest. And 65 will be good. I think that's going to be massive, brother. If we get 65 million, that's a massive, massive money, to be honest. It's a massive amount. And going on to the next one, please, people watching, guys, do hit the like button. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It will mean a lot to me. Coming on to another young star joins Chelsea. That is Candri Paez from Independiente del Valle. He's another very, very good young player. And I think this is another sign of what Chelsea are building for the future. He's a very talented guy. And I think he can do a very good job for us in the future. He's a good, talented kid. But I think right now, either playing in under 21s, under 18s, or going on loan might be better for him. I don't think he might play in the starting 11. But he's a good youngster. And another signing Chelsea had made looking into the future that we really want to build upon. Kovan News has gone silent. I think it's also want to do with Manchester City playing in the final of Champions League. I think once the final is over, I think don't be surprised Manchester City go again and seal the deal for Kovacic after most probably winning the Champions League. I think once the Champions League final is done, Kovacic news is going to get a lot of coverage. Chelsea announced Kendra Paez deal. 2007 born midfielder, just a 16-year-old kid, man. Long-term contract signed, medical done in London last April. And Anshuman, brother, a big up Anshuman, bhai. It's absolute pleasure to see you, bhai. People do go and subscribe to United Road. Fantastic content. And Anshuman, bhai, you have to see what a rant of Manchester United. He's a fantastic fan. Do go there, United Road, and subscribe to Anshuman, bhai. Great content. And thank you, bhai, to join the chat. Looks like Spurs want Maguire. I think that's Spurs. Spurs being Spursy, but I think Anshuman bhai will be happy if Spurs pay 20-30 million. I think Anshuman bhai, this is a good news for you. And there were rumors coming Chelsea want Maguire, but I don't think we'll go for Harry Maguire, to be honest. And Brighton are set to demand significantly more than 70 million for Caicedo. Chelsea could improve their chances by including Colwell. This is by a reliable source. Thank you, Darren Bro. Big up for the news as well. And I think Caicedo is going to cost 80 million. And for me, Darren Bro, because Brighton want Colwell and they're trying to milk the situation with Colwell wanting to stay at Brighton, they will try to rinse us. They rinse us 60 million for Cucurella. They rinse us 20 million for Graham Potter. I think they are going to rinse us, bro. They are absolutely going to rinse us, drain, bro. But I think Chelsea need to be strong. And I think we need to first of all convince Caicedo. Once we convince the guy, then I think it's going to be a good chance for us to sign him permanently, being very, very honest. And hello, Sheve. Big up, Anshuman Bhai. And this one also I've read. And going on another news, Spurs want Maguire because of homegrown quota. Yeah, that's the real reason they want him. And big up, brother. Thank you to join the chat, bro. Big up, Kesha, bro. And they play 3 at the back, so it makes sense for them. Yeah, fully agree with that, man. But Postecoglou might go to a back for Anshuman Bhai. So I think that's a bit to see. But one thing I will surely say is Harry Maguire is better than Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez any day of the week. Harry Maguire is better than Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer any day of the week. And joining from both the IDs before heading to the talk, congratulations 1K, bro. 10K soon. Thank you so much, bro. And I think United Road is close to 5K. People do go to United Road and subscribe. And brother, 10K is coming soon. And big up to you. Thank you. Thank you so much, bro, for the support. And Anshuman Bhai, this really means a lot. And hopefully one day we collaborate and it's going to be a great day, bro. Really respect your content, bro. And really good content, bro. And for a whole new midfield to gel, what should be our expectations? What will the impact in the dressing room be if Kante, Kova, Mount, Jorginho have all left in the space? And Drain Bro, reports were coming out in the when we're losing matches that senior players are causing problem. Now, Drain Bro, we need to be honest. Is it not a good thing that these players have gone? See, Mount for me is a good element in the dressing room. He's a good guy. Jorginho is a good guy. But I think Drain Bro, if Chelsea really want to move to a new era, is it not good that we're letting these players go and building a new era? Drain Bro, I know the next season can be hard. It's going to be a very hard season, Drain Bro. But I think Darren Bro, for Chelsea to go to the next level, we need to change the squad. And I think if Kante, Kovacic, Mount and Jorginho leaves, we have Caicedo, Lavia, we have Enzo, we have Caicedo, Andre Santos, Chukwuemeka. They will bring more hunger, desire. You just see the spine that Chelsea are trying to build. Madueke, Mudryk, Caicedo, Lavia. We are trying to build with Kande Paez, Chukwuemeka, Andre Santos, Armando Broja, Chaluba, Wesley Fofana, Colwell, Badiashile, Lewis Hall, Maatsen, Cucurella, somewhat Chilwell, Reece James, Gusto, Kepa, Slonina. I think Chelsea are trying to build a bit of core which in the future develops and then can reach very, very big heights. These players will be more understanding with each other. There won't be egos. There won't be anyone trying to really go over anyone. There will be more unity. They will love each other and they will really want to prove to the world that they're good enough to play for Chelsea. So I think for me, brother, this is not the worst thing in the world. And I think this is a good thing for Chelsea. We need to move from an era, Darren Bro, which was very underwhelming. These players lost so many finals, FA Cups, Carabao Cups. And I think thank you for the Champions League, Club World Cup. I'll always love Kante. He's a legend for me. I will always love Mason Mount. He's not a legend, but a very good hero for us. Kai Havertz is a cult hero for that goal. I will always respect Kovacic and he's a very good technician. But I think it's time for Chelsea to move to a new era, new mentality, and it's time for a new Chelsea to be reborn for me, Darren Bro. And taking more comments here, and exactly, Maguire is an upgrade. Fully agree with that one, bro. Maguire needs to leave United. That pace is not good for him. I think it's good for both parties. United need to get rid of him. They need to go and sign young centre backs, and I think it's good for Maguire to go to Tottenham, be much more like a starter, and redefine his career. And 30 Redo and Lelo collab soon. I fully agree. And people do go and subscribe to United Row. Some absolute fantastic content. And absolutely buy. Again, we'll collab together and it's going to be massive, bro. And any recommendation for goalkeeper positions? For me, bro, I think I will love to go with Mike McNeil, but he's going to cost 190 million. I will rather go with David Raya, but United want David Raya. Tottenham want David Raya. So I think it's going to be very difficult. For me, the ideal situation for me will be to sign a CDM. And for me, keep goalkeeper Kepa and Slorina for this season. I think we can survive a season with that. But if I really want a player, cheap and good, I will go with David Raya, bro. And Shrebai agree. But don't you think we need at least some experienced player also considering Silva, Aspi are leaving next season? I do think we need that, but I think players like more like I want a player like Rice. I really want us to sign Rice, but that is not possible. And this is why, Darren, bro, I know people might not agree, but I will love for us to sign an experienced striker, like in the mold of Mitrovic in terms of experience they've got. I will love us to sign at least one player that has got experience of the league. So I think we'll see what we do in that regards. But I think signing a David Raya, signing a Mitrovic, signing a Lavia, signing a Caicedo might help us in the Premier League with the experience they've got in this league, bro. And I think there's still Thiago Silva, there's still players like Enzo, the World Cup winner. We still have players like Trevor Chalobah experience. And I think with Colville, who has Premier League experience under his belt, I think we might not be that bad. But Arsenal will go with Caicedo because, yeah, I think Keshav, I fully agreed. I think especially for me, for Arsenal, I will make a video very soon after this week on Arsenal and the season that they've had and what they can do next season. I think Arsenal should be going all over for Caicedo and Rice. I think Arsenal can really win the league next season if they can get Declan Rice and Caicedo. Declan Rice, Caicedo, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, 4 proper midfielders for the Champions League and Premier League. I think Arsenal can compete on all fronts. And I think Arsenal really need to protest Champions League and Premier League, both of them. They even need to give importance to FA Cups, Carabao Cups. And I think Arsenal can get both of them. They both are achievable for Arsenal. Arsenal right now are more attractive to sign than Chelsea. So I think Arsenal should be all over this deal. And Onana or Maguire as a keeper will make us improve. And Onana will be cheap as well. And Kim Min-jae United, man, United have got a very good player in there. Very good player. Rice is my dream. Fully agree with that one, bro. Eden Hazard still working for Chelsea. Romeo Lavia has previously spoken to Eden Hazard, and Eden Hazard has urged him to join Chelsea. And people, this is a very good news to my ears. I think Lavia is a player I really want. What I've seen of this guy, he's a very young kid, but I think he can develop to be something good. And I think he's a very, very talented young kid. I think Romeo Lavia in the future can do a very good job for us. I think we should be going all over him. He's going to cost 40 million. He's an experienced Premier League player. He's a young player. Our scouts know him well. So I think we must go with him. And Eden Hazard still working for Chelsea. Come back, Prince. I will still say, Darren, bro, it hurts me, bro, but not as a player, but has some capacity. I will love Eden Hazard back at the club. What if Inter wins UCL? Man City gets guilty for FA violation and Nana stays. Man, that's going to be massive. And that's going to help Chelsea. Like, being honest, Kesha, bro, that's really going to help Chelsea because then Lukaku will stay at Inter as well. So it could be good for us as well. But I think, to be really honest, brother, I just cannot see Inter beating Manchester City. And I don't know how it's going to happen. And see, it depends on who they have in the group. They need to improve in other position. Striker, winger, yeah. That's fully agreed. But I do think with Arsenal, I think goalkeeper Ramsdale will only improve. Ben White and Tomiyasu will be back. Zinchenko, and they need to sign a left back backup for me if Tierney is going to Newcastle. I think Gabriel, Saliba, they still need to sign a centre back backup for me. But Kivior is still a young player, but they need to replace Holding. But I think midfield is still a very weak area for Arsenal with Partey, the way he dropped off in the season. And I think Martinelli Trossard is a good competition, and Kitty can still do a job in absence of Jesus. I think if Arsenal can get a Saka backup who can compete with him, a midfielder and a centre back, they are going to be a massive worry. And Kesha, bro, is really going to enjoy a Premier League title for me because that could be massive for Arsenal. And Scout is standing ahead of Chelsea. Joe Shield is a Chelsea scout that's pushing for Lavia because he worked with him at Southampton. And this is the reason I think Chelsea will try heavily for Lavia. Coming on to another one, Southampton won 40-50 million for Lavia. I think we should be rinsing Southampton. My guys, I respect you, but you're relegated. That has to drop the price. I think Chelsea need to negotiate with Southampton, convince Lavia, and once Lavia starts forcing it, Chelsea need to do a deal around 35-36 million, and I think that will be a massive coup. And Brighton won at least 80 million for Caicedo. Southampton are expected to demand 40-50 for Lavia. I think if we can sign them both for combined 100 million, that will be a massive deal. And Saudi Emirates are in London to present an official proposal to Kante. And people, reports are coming that Chelsea have tried to extend his contract, but I think that's more of a performance-based incentive contract. And with Saudi paying him around 100 million salary, I think N'Golo Kante is going as well. Kante, Kova, Mount, Chelsea's midfield is going to revamp, and we are going to have a whole new Chelsea team next season. Everyone who joined, thank you so much, Darren, bro. Your support means a lot, bro. Thank you so much, Darren, bhai. It really means a lot. Big up to Loco, big up to Kesha, big up to United, bro. Do subscribe to the channel. and do go to subscribe Ankit Bhai channel Almighty Blues FC. Big up to Drain, big up to Luko, and big up to Utkarsh. Thank you so much everyone to join the chat. People who have joined right now, do go back and watch the video. It really means a lot. Do like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you everyone. Hope you have a great day. Thank you and best of luck to all. Thank you.